when we are faced with dire situations, where the flames are literally surrounding us and we're engulfed by the struggle of our life, what are we looking at that is going to help us get up? What are we paying attention to that is going to help us move forward? You showed me love, glory from above. Thank God you're here. Oh, hey, heal from here. In the wake of a hurricane. Hey, song is called Pink White from Frank Ocean. It's one of my favorite songs. I've been listening to it for months. Today I want to talk about getting it, girl. And I'm going to break it down for you. If you don't know me, my name is Melise Chokit. I'm known as the Growth Coach. And you'll be seeing me on YouTube every weekday. Christmas is coming up. And I found myself in a situation this week where I was just like, I have no money. Y'all? I need to say this. Ooh. Okay. I found myself in a situation, y'all, where I'm broke. So broke, it's not even funny. I need to say I am manifesting. God is manifesting for me. I will be wealthy. I will be rich. All of the things we are told to do all of the time, right? But in reality, I have no money. And it's Christmas this weekend, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my kids for gifts. But the reason I thought it was so important to do this video now is because if you know my personal story, you go back and go check one of the videos where I'm looking really drenchy and telling my whole, well, half of my life story. I have always loved Christmas, and not because I was going to receive any gifts. I'm not a very good gift receiver, but I really, really love giving gifts. And I always go all out for my kids. And because I'm in such a horribly financial situation this year, I was just like, oh my word, what am I going to do? What am I going to do for my kids for gifts this year? Because I can barely afford to feed myself at this point. But I felt like I needed to talk about what it meant to get up when you're down and out. I've interacted with so many women in the last few months, some men, who have found themselves in the really dire situation that I'm in, where you're hundreds of thousands of rands in arrears, in debt that you didn't cause, and that, I mean, you're threatened. I'm in a situation where I'm threatened whether I'm gonna have a roof over my head in the next few months. But and I say that with a smile on my face because it doesn't bother me so much that I'm in debt. And that I'm probably going to be in debt for a while, or that I don't even have a penny to my name. But what I think would have bothered me more than anything else was that I couldn't sit here and smile about it. And I want to quantify that. A friend of mine the other day was, I was driving with her in her car, and she said to me, after everything you've been through in the last few months, I don't understand how you were still moving forward. How you were still able to smile and how you were still able to experience life. And I sat and thought about what she said. Because in reality, there were days where I was just like, okay, this is overload. I'm standing on the edge of the cliff and just push me. I don't want to do this anymore. You know, let my life insurance go to my kids. You know, at least they'll be taken care of. They may not be with the healthiest people, but, you know, maybe I'm not it. And in those moments, there have been people or things that have shown up that have pulled me off that edge. Literally, I'm not even kidding. But why I feel like I wanted to call this video Get It Girl or Get Up Girl is because the worst mistake you can make when your life is literally in flames is give up. All you have is yourself. All you have is an opportunity to move forward. All you have from rock bottom is up. And giving up on getting up and just moving forward, even if it's at an inch at a time, is a waste of the life you have been given. I'm very well known for being completely optimistic. I'm the kind of person who thinks life is beautiful and fairies and flowers and all of those beautiful things. But it is. If you give yourself enough of an opportunity to experience what it feels like to walk on grass bare feet, to feel what it feels like to smell the rain before it comes, to listen to music in a place that speaks to your soul like I do every day, you understand that there's much more value to life than the things you're losing and the people you're losing. The worst mistake we make in our entire lifetime is attaching our self-worth and who we are to things and to people and to events. I really don't believe that we've been given this one opportunity to live in this existence to attach ourselves to things that really have no value. Other people have value in themselves and they should find that for themselves, but we should never find our value in other people. We should never find our value in the things that people do to us, and we should never find our value in being completely threatened with homelessness. I watch regularly stories on Instagram, excuse me, of people who ended up homeless who have hope. And what I find really interesting is that hope really exists within your understanding of self, whether you have things or not. And there's so many beautiful movies about this specific topic, about how who you are is not what you have and what you can have. It's about the value you understand in self. But that is the only thing you need to be focusing on when you're down and out. These women on these groups that I am on, there's a few South African groups that I'm on with women who come out of abusive households, who are going through horrible, miserable divorces, who are really struggling to even find places to live for their children. Some of the women's children have been taken away. And most of the conversation is around, oh my word, I don't know what to do. This is horrible. I found myself there a few times, and I've also commented a few times on me being in a horrible situation. But I've done enough self-evaluation and understanding on self-worth that I never sit there long. But a lot of people I find who come out of these situations stuck in this place for 5, 6, 7 years at a time. Which is so heartbreaking to me, because that amount of time you're not going to get back, right? You're not going to be able to relive those years. And those are years that you are losing out on experiencing life as it truly should be with your children. You must remember, if you have young children, that is all they're going to know about you. Those 7 years, for instance, are going to be the years that they know my mother is just in a heartbreaking place, and maybe this is what life is like. It's horrible and it's painful, and it's just all the things that children should never think life is about. And I may sound like some airy fairy, skipping on rainbows and all sorts of things, people. I live in reality. I know my reality, but my reality doesn't dictate who I am. And I've said this for years now on my social media. If you don't follow me, Malish Joking, on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok. I've said this for years, that who I am isn't dictated by my external environment and what's going on. So chances are I may not be able to purchase my house or a car for maybe a few years. I don't know what God has in store for me. But that doesn't change who I am. And who I am is who's sitting here right now. I'm honest to a fault. It's a problem. I expose too much of my life to the public, which is another problem. But I know that about myself, and I appreciate that about myself. And I don't allow other people to tell me that I'm not those things. Also, when people make snarky comments about, oh, you think you are so it. And I'm just like, well, yeah, baby, I am. And if you don't think that, I at least think that about myself. And that's not me being arrogant. I understand who I am. I know how I was made. I know how I was formed. So the reason why I feel like we need to talk about our self-value and self-worth more is that when we are faced with dire situations where the flames are literally surrounding us and we're engulfed by the struggle of our life, what are we looking at that is going to help us get up? What are we paying attention to that is going to help us move forward? I've had so many now in the last few weeks, people say to me, what you're saying can't be true is happening to you because I look so put together. When in fact, I'm not put together. People, y'all, I'm false from here to Timbuktu, which I'm good with. I'm alright with my faults. We have made peace. But that doesn't mean I get to sit and be a victim. I do not give myself permission to be victimized by anything that's happening to me or happening around me. Because the longer I sit in victimization, the longer I allow the external environment to dictate who I am. And eventually I will become a victim eternally. That is not the life that any of us were born to lead. And that doesn't matter who you are. There was a book that someone gave me as a gift of a woman who was gang raped in another country. It's a horrible book. I couldn't get halfway through it because I was constantly triggered by the things that happened to her. And she got up and wrote a book. She's now walking around with the victim sign on her forehead saying, oh my word, woe is me, my life is horrible, please hold me, pray for me, give me money, give me something. She took her power back. And I don't believe any of us go through anything in our lives so that we can walk around with that victim sign on our forehead. So yes, life may not be dandy for any of us. Life maybe not fantastic at all. Some of us don't even know what we're going to eat in the next 3 weeks or what gifts we're going to give our kids over Christmas. But that doesn't make us victims. The only way we are victims is if we constantly put ourselves at the forefront of the problems we're facing instead of facing them head on. And we have a responsibility to face them, especially if we have kids, on our own. I have found myself more alone in the last few months than I've ever been in my life, but I've not been lonely. And the thing about that was, it didn't so much show me strength, because I've been told over and over again by people, you're such a strong person, oh my word, I wouldn't have survived. Like, it has nothing to do with strength. I've actually, in this process, found my femininity in ways that I had been hoping I would eventually find. I know who I am as a woman. And that has nothing to do with being strong. It has everything to do with getting up and just pushing through. There are days when there are things I do not want to do for the life of me, y'all. There are days when I'm writing and I'm just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to, I don't want to push through this thing. I want to sit in the pain right now. Then there are days I sit in the pain and just sit in it and feel it and go through the entire experience. And then there are days when I push and do what I need to do. Get up that day and sell whatever I have to sell just to make sure that we're making ends meet, or sell myself in the job or the work that I'm doing, or look for work in places that I have no experience and just put my name out there, because I'm not strong. I'm just determined to keep showing up for myself. So I just wanted this video to go out for the women and the people who find themselves in that victim state, in that mindset of victimization, that you need to get up. You have to get up. If it's not for your kids, it's for you. Find your value, even if it is the smallest thing you can find about yourself that you know you're good at, girl. You know what it is. Everyone else around you has told you over and over again that you can't do this thing, you don't know what you're doing, you have no talents, you have no this. You know what you were born with. Every one of us do. But we when we become victims and we victimize ourselves, we say, oh no, but I'm not good at that thing. We beat ourselves up and we gaslight ourselves. So you need to decide to take, even if it's the smallest thing you know you're good at, and work on it. Develop it. Do what you must. But sitting in a space of victimization doesn't serve you, and it doesn't serve the people that you are meant to impact in this life. So I hope this video helped everyone. Cheers to you. Have a cup of coffee with me. And thank you for having a cup of coffee with me. And I'll see you in the next video.